Ravi sir, and compliments to Vivek ji and all the panelists. And with this, we'll be concluding this session and we'll be heading for a panel discussion immediately. So I request all the participants to be here right away, and we'll be taking 2 minutes time to set the stage. Welcome back. Right now, we'll be having a panel discussion on a very interesting and useful topic, Webapp Development, a new frontier for CAs. Of course, we are mindful that we are not web developers, but time is right there where we can put our hands on this, and how we can integrate this to have a leverage in our practice, we'll look into. Now, may I request the moderator of the session, CA Sam Agrawal, to the dais. He is not only fond of cricket and a black belt, but an enthusiastic person and the professional for the AI segment as well. A fellow member of the institute, and of course, it goes with DISA. Sam Agrawal, for you, please. Now, we have two distinguished panelists in this session. Now, may I request the TDS man, what we know in this part of the world, CA Mr. Ranjan Goika, founder of PTS Infotech Private Limited, with 35 years of experience in developing scalable and ready-to-use softwares, and we've been associated with this software quite some time right now. He is one of the key panelists for this session. And next panelist, very young and dynamic, Mr. Anurag Mohto, founder of Real Books. If after Tally and Joe of late started doing it, but we are associated with Real Books. Anurag hails from this city and a Javerian. We welcome you, Anurag, to the panel. Now, may I request our Vice Chairman, Mayur Agrawal, to please felicitate gentlemen on the panel. Thank you, Mayur bhai. Now I leave the floor to Sam, and all yours.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you, Biswaranjanda. Good evening, everyone. Very warm welcome to all the special delegates that have been sitting here for this concluding session for the AI Summit 2025, organized by EIRC of ICAI under the AI committee. So I would first like to thank the committee for organizing this on a Sunday, lovely Sunday, where we can uplift our knowledge with respect to artificial intelligence and technology, and learn 2 cents how we can implement them in our day-to-day life. So AI, digital transformation, and artificial intelligence with professionals, web apps. These are some of the jargons and words that we use in day-to-day life, sometimes with anxiety, sometimes with confidence, sometimes with curiosity. But today, this panel has been created to remove all this and to bring clarity rather than confusion about how web apps are useful for chartered accountants. So today, the purpose of this is to create an impression on how we don't need to be a data software engineer or a coder to use web apps, but to install something which we can create ourselves and which will help our day-to-day practice, both ourselves and our team, in taking this forward. So in this panel today, we have two very learned authorities of the technological world. First, they are non-chartered accountants. The biggest takeaway from both of them, which I learned, that they both are non-chartered accountants, and being from a non-chartered accountant background, they understood the pain of what us chartered accountants feel while doing compliance, while doing accounting and everything from outside, and they have created some beautiful products which help us in our day-to-day life and which simplifies the work that we do. So welcome to Ranjan Goenka ji and Anurag Mohta ji on this panel, and who will delve us into what practical insights we need as from web app side on how we can use them, how we can implement them, how we can take benefits of these apps from the professional side. So without further ado, I would first like to throw a question to both the panelists, that how can you explain web apps from a simple CA point of view to our audience?
Thank you for making me part of this panel. Am I audible? Yeah. See, web app is something we all use every day, knowingly or unknowingly. Let me give you an example. If you log into your Gmail account and send a mail, that is also a web app. In simple terms, it's a software which is deployed on the web server, and you are able to access that web server and use that app. It could be secured through a login, or you could directly visit that. So in very simple terms, a web app actually solves some kind of a problem, and it's a software which is deployed on the web, and the users are able to access it and use it. The definition is extremely simple.
Thank you. Anurag ji.
So, firstly, good evening everyone, and thank you for having me here. So taking on from what Ranjan ji also said, so a web app by definition, like he said, is something, any software you use on the web. Now, what are the web apps that are already available prior to the AI era? So you've all used Google Docs, Google Sheets, all of that. So these are also web apps. Now a simple thing like, let's say making, and since all of you are, I assume a lot of you are practicing chartered accountants. So have you ever provided access to your clients for their last 5-year tax returns, their balance sheets, their ROC compliances, or all the likes? Now, if that you provide, you create mini Google folders and make sure each of them is permissioned, and so that anytime a client calls you up कि मेरा ना वो मेरे को 2022 से इसका रिटर्न सबमिट करना है एक वीज़ा के लिए, आता है आप लोग के पास कभी कभार क्वेश्चन? Now, for something as simple as that, why should he have to call you up and why should you have to dig through anything? If you've just created a simple folder where you've given that specific client permission for it, that is also usage of web app. There are so many, I'm saying that while the topic is talking about AI, I'm saying if we go to the pre-AI era, also there are so many instances of where we can use web apps very effectively to provide services. I'm saying अभी AI तो अभी आया है और हम लोग उसको अब inherit कर रहे हैं, उस पे काम कर रहे हैं. I'm saying if you go prior to AI also, there were so many things which we as an audience, as a consumer, were not doing. I'm not only talking about chartered accountants. So therefore, web apps is there are small applications which just make our lives easier. It's as simple as that.
Thank you, Anurag bhaiya. So taking a cue from what you said, so I like an example you give of a visa. I have queries जिनको लोन अप्लाई करना पड़ता है, वो 3 साल के डॉक्यूमेंट्स मांगते हैं. What I have did in my place is I have created a Google Drive in which I have put in all the income tax, GST and everything, year-wise, segregated-wise folders, and given the access to my clients and his team. So can this be considered as a web app for them?
Yes, absolutely. This is a web app. I think while obviously AI is the buzzword and everything else, and web apps and everything, any small software which you are hosting on the web, which is making your life easier. If you remember in 3 Idiots, there was a definition ki machine kya hai, right? It is the same thing. It is exactly, I think we are just over-analyzing and overrating this AI. It is definitely making life easier, and I'll show you a couple of examples of how ChatGPT, Claude, Anthropic, Perplexity, all of these make lives easier. In the previous session, we did see some examples already, but I'm just telling you that there are so many things where you don't even need to get into that level of complexity and you can make your life easier. anything is, yeah.
Great. So, taking a cue from what you said, in the past 48 hours, whatever we have learned vibe coding, we have learned HTML, we have learned Python, and everything. So, can we understand that does web app requires some kind of extra coding language which a chartered accountant should know, or any language barrier that should be there, or we need to have just a simple prompt engineering and we can launch a web app for us?
So, I am not a coder. Okay. In fact, I'll just give you my little bit of background, just for context. I have a partner, Neeraj Jain, who is a third generation chartered accountant. So we are the two founders of Real Books. Both of us do not have an IT education background. But I can tell you that today Neeraj, and he's the one who looks after our entire tech, he probably can give any coder in any top tech company a run for his money. And he has self-learned completely. Okay. So therefore, that's one thing that obviously you don't need hardcore education. I wish he could have been here, he was traveling, otherwise I think he would have been, made a better panelist than me. But anyways, so firstly, you don't need education to know coding. So therefore you need to, it's all logical thinking. And as chartered accountants who have gone through the rigmarole and the education and everything, I can assure you that your mind is logical enough to give the right prompts. I don't know, has anyone used ChatGPT for analyzing or asking for information? I'm assuming everyone has at some point in time. Okay, I'll try and see if they've connected the laptop, of how you just upload any invoice and tell them that please extract information. That's a single line prompt you give. And you see the kind of and the quality of information that comes. If you want to learn Python, you want to, I mean, you've had sessions on Python, etc. I can assure you, in my office, apart from the guys who are the IT developers who are coding on Real Books, everyone else uses Python very, very extensively just by giving logical prompts. So logical thinking is important. You do not need very technical, high level of technical knowledge. That is, you have to give the right prompts.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Ranjanji, your thoughts on?
See, any application, whether it's a web app, whether it's a mobile application, और whether अपने को डेस्कटॉप में सॉफ्टवेयर इंस्टॉल करके चलाते हैं, उसके पीछे कोड ही चलता है, लैंग्वेज कुछ भी हो जाए. So the code is there. Now, right now, what was happening was the code was being generated by software companies, the programmers working over there. Now, ultimately, even when the programmers work, they are working on certain guidelines based on certain brief, on which basis they are able to write a program. Now, what my friend Anurag just said, now if we are able to use the AI tools, and mind you, all the AI tools that we are talking about are again web apps, whether we are talking about ChatGPT, Claude, or whatever name you say, all these are web apps. So, fundamentally speaking, if you have clarity in what you want, and that clarity has to be expressed in form of a prompt, my friend just told you about the word prompt, and you will be able to derive information. If you feel, suppose you're trying to make an effort to write some kind of a web app that is going to work for you. Some issue? Huh. So if you write some kind of a web app through a prompt, which is going to work for you, it may not work the first time. जैसे अभी आप लोगों ने कई जन कहा कि आप चैट जीपीटी यूज़ किए हैं, आपको कई बार ऐसा फील हुआ है कि आप चैट जीपीटी को कुछ पूछा है, आपको जवाब सही नहीं मिला, फिर आप ठीक करके पूछे हैं तो आपको बेटर जवाब मिला. इसको और रिफाइन करके अगर आप पूछते हैं, आपको और बेटर जवाब मिलता है. Has anybody experienced this? Am I right?
Hi.
So I've just uploaded this. Okay. Sorry, I've just uploaded this invoice right now, and this is a free version of ChatGPT. Okay. Can you extract billing information? Okay. Now, if I want to say, okay, please extract item details and tax details. Okay. So it's about how you can now, all of this, if you can create a script out of it and keep doing it on a repetitive basis, you don't actually need your accountant to put entries, because this will give you the exact entry that needs to be put. It's giving you this, it's giving you all your GST details. Now, if you want it on an Excel format or a JSON format, you can ask them. You can, whichever software you're using, tell them that I want it in this format. Once you've done it, that's the beauty about AI, that it will remember it. Now, if it remembers it, next time round, it will keep ensuring that when you put in 20 invoices and you tell them that put all those 20 invoices into one table and give it to me in this format so that I can just upload it, it will do it. If I just tell them that please provide a suitable narration for this entry. So I'm just saying, and this is all on your free version, mind it. Once you, I would still say that over a period of time, please migrate to the paid version, because there will be a limit of how much you can do on this, obviously. So you can actually do so much with this and make life so much easier. That's it. Okay, that's what I had done. I've just uploaded something I bought on Amazon. That's it. And it's given this. And that's what I'm trying to say. That is the power of AI. That while web apps, you can use so many web apps on your in your daily life. You can just add these small AI tools to enhance your performance many fold. I'm telling you, आप लोग को कई बार लगता है, and I keep hearing this from all my, we associate with a lot of chartered accountants. My own chartered accountant, he keeps saying कि अनुराग जी काम तो बहुत है पर आदमी नहीं मिलते हैं और आदमी टिकते नहीं है. पर यही चीज़ है कि आप लोग का काम कभी नहीं जाएगा, आप लोग के पास हमेशा काम रहेगा. जो आपके नीचे जितने लोग हैं उनके आपको उतनी रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है. यू कैन एक्सट्रैक्ट मच मोर वर्क फ्रॉम देम. यू डोंट नीड सो मेनी सच अ बिग टीम साइज. यू कैन एक्सट्रैक्ट ऑल ऑफ दिस. यू कैन, so you are never going to be at risk. You are sitting right at the top of the pyramid. The top of the pyramid is never at risk. It is the lower level who are at risk if they don't upskill themselves. Yeah.
Thank you, Ravya. So, taking a cue, Ranjani, can you please explain how can we, say, create a new web app for us chartered accountants that may help? What is the language required to understand? What are the tools we can use? And if you can tell something about the investment that we need to do with respect to such kind of apps.
See, whenever we develop any software or any app, as I think both are synonyms for me, the first thing, there has to be some requirement. You don't develop an app without having a requirement. So, first thing, आपको ये decide करना है कि आपको चाहिए क्या. मैं आपको दो सिंपल तरीके से, आई एम अज्यूमिंग कि चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स आर ऑल हियर, दे आर ऑल वेल वर्स्ड विथ AI नाउ, बिकॉज यू हैव हैड अ 2-day सेशन, और आप लोग कई मैंने फ्यू इयर्स यू हैव बीन हियरिंग अ लॉट अबाउट AI. अपने बात करते, लेट अस टेक सम सिंपल यूज केसेस. दो तरीके से आप कर सकते हैं. आप लोग सब चैट GPT यूज़ किए हैं. चैट GPT के अंदर में have you heard about something called my GPT और custom GPT? आप लोग कोई भी यूज़ किए custom GPT को? मैं बोलता हूँ custom GPT इतनी पावरफुल है, आप कोई भी एक यूज़ केस बनाइए एंड custom GPT को आप अपने सारे इंफॉर्मेशन वहाँ पे डालिए. देखिए ये अपने चैट GPT कर क्या रहा है? इट इज़ ट्राइंग टू वर्क विद द इंफॉर्मेशन इट हैज़ लर्नड. एक तो जेनेरिक इन्फॉर्मेशन उसके पास है जो आपको जनरल यूसेज में मिलता है. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस, लाइक यू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ बिजनेस इंटेलिजेंस विद इन योर ओन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. आप यू कैन इवन put in all this up and you can create your own customized GPTs within chat GPT, and that could be shared with all or limited number of people. And if that particular thing is in fact very useful, even the world at large can use it. I'll give you some simple cases. Maybe you want to have some kind of internal learnings. So for internal learnings, you can create a GPT. Like, I've been seeing, I was here for the last 45 minutes. There was a session going on in audit. Uske pehle bhi Patwa ji was saying something very interesting. And all these can be made into very intelligent custom GPT. And that custom GPT can be used within the organization. Even for some of the things, it could be even extended to your clients. They can also use it. Like another thing is कि कई बार client कई questions पूछते हैं. So basically within your GPT itself, you can even share that with your clients, and the client can use it very simply and in getting those things. So these are not really web apps, but this is almost like a web app that you are actually creating something which is within your own what you call domain. Now coming down to web apps. But instead of talking generally, let me give you a very simple one example. I suppose compliance is one of the very important part for chartered accountants and their clients. And we keep on saying कि compliance में गड़बड़ नहीं होना चाहिए. गड़बड़ होने से it can get into lot many problems. Now just imagine, we all know about compliance calendar, like for the whole year, for different tax laws, there is a full list of compliance calendar. Suppose if we built up an app in which all these things are listed, and suppose you have 20 clients, and each client has, say, 4 companies. So there are 80 entities who need to do compliance. So suppose if you are able to build a simple web app in which we are able to give reminder to the company, the group in the beginning of the month कि आपका इस कंपनी में आपको इस महीने में ये करना है, इस कंपनी में ये करना है. अभी अपने लोग क्या करते हैं कि एक पूरी कंप्लायंस कैलेंडर का चार्ट है, वो पूरा का पूरा अपलोड करा देते हैं, एंड इसके बियॉन्ड हम लोग कुछ कर नहीं रहे हैं. बट अगेन इफ यू बिकम मोर स्पेसिफिक, my question to the audience is, don't you think it will be more useful to your client if you can exactly say कि आपका ये प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी है, इसमें आपको ये काम करना है. मैंने exactly you can pinpoint it. Now this can be done through building up a small app. Now building up the app, see, fundamentally one is the code and one is the information that you're going to save that is going to be sent to what you call the clients. So now there are a lot of tools. But in fact, there are, like, you can use even Google Sheets as your data, and there are a lot of native applications which can be used to build up these apps. Like one very popular is Lovable. Lovable is a beautiful app for building up small app. आपको कुछ कोडिंग करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. With clarity आप उसको explain करो, वो आपको exactly आपको they will actually write the code that is going to work. मैं आपको एक छोटा सा example देता हूँ. The real life example, this is related to TDS. There was a large company, उनकी TDS data में करीब 40 लाख लाइन रिकॉर्ड था, एंड वो करेक्शन करने जा रहा था, उनकी करेक्शन हो नहीं पा रही थी, बार बार कुछ एरर आ रहा था उसके अंदर में, एंड दे वर नॉट एबल टू फाइंड आउट कि एरर क्या है. सो द मैटर वॉज रेफर्ड टू मी कि सॉल्व हो ही नहीं रहा ये वाला. देन आई सेड कि सॉल्व नहीं होने का कोई कारण ही नहीं है, देयर इज सम प्रॉब्लम इन दिस 40 लाख रिकॉर्ड्स जो कॉन्सो फाइल डाउनलोड हुआ है, उसके अंदर में कोई ना कुछ प्रॉब्लम है कहीं पर. तो बोला सर 40 लाख में खोजे कैसे इसको. I wrote to ChatGPT कि भाई I need to find out from this text file if there is any foreign element here. तो he said कि भाई I can give you a code in Python. अब बिलीव करो मेरे को Python में उसने कोड दिया. I executed that code with that data. I got the result in 30 seconds कि in line number maybe 32 लाख लाइन पे there was a foreign character which had gone in. तो वो करेक्शन रिटर्न ऑनलाइन किया था उसने, कॉपी एंड पेस्ट किया तो करेक्शन उसमें घुस गया अंदर में. बट इमेजिन करो कि बाय यूजिंग आई हैव नो आइडिया अबाउट पाइथन, and without knowing Python, I was able to actually write a small code by just giving a prompt, giving that file as an input, and I got a result. So basically, you can keep on going on and on. Like I'll tell you, for letter drafting, for sending emails, so you can think of any application and you can do it.
Thank you, Ranjan. Any tools that Anuragji would like to refer?
No, so we use Claude very extensively. We in fact use the paid version of Claude is Anthropic. So, but we use it primarily for coding. So to make our codes more efficient. So typically, the clients who we have on board are typically clients where data volume is very large. They'll have a few lakh entries, etc. जो on multiple locations, etc. So उसमें क्या होता है? The code needs to be efficient to make sure that ledger report में अगर आपके 5000 लाइन की ledger report है, तो वो within 10-15 seconds आनी चाहिए. Now आप जितना भी कोशिश करें, when you are writing that code, you will make sure the code is logical to extract the data. But if it is not efficient, then the same data, if it comes in 3 minutes, no one has the patience to run that report. And that is where Claude, and Claude specifically is a very coding specific tool, so probably not so relevant here. They do a very, very good job. The other thing we use, I think we use ChatGPT. Again, we use the paid version for ChatGPT. Is we use it very extensively for all our responses to clients for letter drafting. In fact, right now, any mail that has to go, any offer letter that has to go, anything that has to go, we just put it into ChatGPT, it extracts it and we send it. So I'm saying कि आप इतने सारे चीज़ें कर सकते हैं अभी with AI, and there are a bunch of tools. You can do it on Gemini, you can do it on, and believe me, they are all, I won't say equally good. One may be slightly better than the other for certain things. So you've got to see what your use cases are. There are tools which are better for data analysis. There are tools which are better for information extraction. There are tools which are better for writing reports. If you need analysis, so again, if you need analysis, then again, you've got to choose which is the best tool so that you can put up your entire accounts. It will automatically analyze it and write. The other thing to do is, so that is one part of using ChatGPT. But I would say the better part of doing using AI is कि you set your rules. आप लोग जब कोई भी audit करते हैं, जो अपना पिछले session में बोल रहे थे कि audit and assurance, right? So you set the rules that do you want to check creditors with debit balance, you want to check anywhere where entries where TDS has not been deducted. So ये जितनी चीज़ें हैं, आप उनका एक script लिख दीजिए, and वो script आपको लिखना नहीं है, वो आपको सिर्फ explain करना है to your AI tool to come up with the right script for it. All you have to then do is just upload your data. Once you've uploaded your data, it will automatically give you that response and analyze the data for you. So that is the beauty. That is where you're saving time. Think of AI as a time saver and a time enhancer, efficiency enhancer. You don't have to think of it. ये आपका एक tool है. Don't think it's replacing anybody. कि आपका ये काम हट जाएगा तो वो तो खुद ही कर लेगा. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होएगा. So therefore, just keep thinking. What is the problem statement? Believe me, you will have the solution. You have to just think logically. This is how I would do it. AI can just do it faster for you. That's how you have to look at it.
So we got a clarity that we don't need to be a coder. We don't need to understand any coding language. We need to know how to run the program. Like if we have a Python code, we just need to know how to run the program and it will do the job. So most of us are small and medium-sized practitioners here. We use different softwares. Like we use RealBooks, we use TDS Man, we use Tally, we use Zoho. So can you highlight that whether any AI tool can help to create a web app which can be integrated in this tool, or should we focus more as a practitioner on creating individual web apps rather than integrating some new tools on the software?
So I think now all softwares, whether it is Zoho, whether it's RealBooks, even Tally, Busy, all of them provide some kind of API integration. So if you want, you can build web apps into the existing accounting software you use. You can do that. Alternatively, if you find it simpler to start with, I would suggest use the web app. Once extract the data into Excel or whatever format they have. All of these will provide some kind of Excel or CSV format download, obviously, and create that web app to analyze data. Once you've gotten comfortable, because you know the API integration part, like what I was showing, उसमें आप नीचे में देखे होंगे लाइन आया था, 2 लाइन आया था. Do you want it in an Excel format, RealBook ready for RealBooks? And that is true. You can get it for any other software. We use RealBooks, so it's now learnt that we are using RealBooks, so it keeps telling me on prompting me on RealBooks only. Or do you want it in a JSON format? JSON format is nothing but a format in which you use for APIs, right? तो आप इसको जो है ये आप सेकेंड स्टेज में इसको आप विद इन द सिस्टम इंटीग्रेट करिए. पहले स्टेज में आई वुड से विच इज हाउ आई लर्न. सो लाइक आई सेड, आई एम अ नॉन कोडर, आई एम सिंपली, आई मीन मैं भी आप लोग बीकॉम कॉमर्स ग्रेजुएट हूँ एक्सेट्रा, एंड मैं तो सीए भी नहीं किया हूँ. बट द सिंपल वे टू डू इट इज, पहले आप एक्सेल या CSV फॉर्मेट को एक्सट्रैक्ट करिए, उस पर कीप क्वेरिंग इट सो दैट इट लर्न्स इट, क्रिएट दैट वेब ऐप and use that extensively. Then you come to stage 2 where you'll then by then आप भी समझ चुके होंगे, वो AI tool भी समझ चुका है कि आपको क्या चाहिए, and then you integrate it together. That's how I would approach it at least. Yeah. Ranjan ji,
your thoughts?
नहीं, I think what he said is very very logical. कि एक बार आप डेटा को पुल करके आप अपने डेस्कटॉप में ले आते हो, उसके बाद आप AI को एग्जीक्यूट करते हो, सो इट्स मच ईजियर. Once you get comfortable on that, then आप real time data को extraction कर सकते हो, because nowadays all the well known accounting software including real books and everybody has that gateway. It could be API, it could be ODBC, whatever, and you will be able to actually work real time. You can make dashboards, things which that particular native application आपको जो नहीं provide कर रहा है, you can build up your own things and do it. I would just like to give you a very interesting case study. And why I'm giving this case study, which is very relevant to all of you, this was done by a completely non-technical team in my office who nobody knew a single line of code. I will tell you what the problem statement is. आप लोगों को मालूम है कि every quarter TDS returns जमा होता है, and last 15 days of the quarter we receive practically 800 to 1000 phone calls a day asking for some kind of clarifications, and each and every call in our organization is recorded. Unless कोई client flag off करता है कि मैं इस बंदा से बात किया, बड़ा बदतमीजी से बात किया है, and he has given me false information, हम लोग को पता भी नहीं चलता था कि कोई कॉल सही तरीके से नहीं हुआ. सो सारे कॉल रिकॉर्ड हो रहे हैं, इसको रिकॉर्डिंग सिस्टम में बहुत पैसे खर्चे किए गए, but we were not able to leverage it fully. So basically I gave this problem statement how we can solve it. So completely non-technical team, I will tell you the workflow, and आप लोग सबके पास workflows है, and how you can actually write small codes using this codeless basically no code tools to actually build up a workflow. I'll tell you how it is. हमने क्या किया इसमें? The first step was to pull the each and every voice file. उस वॉइस फाइल को हमने उसको ट्रांसक्राइब करा के इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में कन्वर्ट किया. अगर किसी ने हिंदी में या तेलुगु में कोई दूसरा भाषा में बात किया, उसको ट्रांसलेट भी करके इंग्लिश में लेके आया. फिर उसको लेके वी डिड अ सेंटिमेंट एनालिसिस कि भाई व्हाट वाज द लेवल ऑफ कॉल, वाज इट नॉर्मल, वाज इट पॉजिटिव और वाज इट नेगेटिव. अगर नेगेटिव कॉल था, so automatically an email was being fired with the link of the what you call the transcript. Somebody could hear exactly क्या बात हुआ. हो सकता है बात सही हुआ हो, AI बाबू जो है कहीं ना कहीं वो हम लोग को मिसगाइड किया, but at least that was flagged off. ये होने के बाद now typically client was asking questions also. So we started building up a database of what are the frequently asked questions. अभी तक जो frequently asked questions है वो हम लोग guess करते हैं, but now from the real conversations we were able to pull out so many questions that is coming out, and it was giving us a lot of insight. और ये सारा का सारा चीज़ now we can see it right on our dashboard. तो इसके अंदर में 5-6 steps है, and believe me this entire workflow was done through no coding tools and completely done by our non-technical team. And I think this is one thing you all can really learn, and for the SOP or for the workflow you have, you can think of it how it can be done, and definitely it is all doable.
So Ranjan ji, you have I think struck the right chord that we as chartered accountants, as finance professionals should be more focused on the outcome of the tool rather than building that tool. And we should be more focused on how to run that tool just by using a no-code platform or a vibe coding platform. So before I end, I would like to have a couple of tools from both of you that you can give as a giveaway to all our participants here. by which they can use that tool and they can create some web apps, giving some examples on how it is beneficial to them. So it's just food for thought to everyone that this is the base where we can build tools and then they can explore by going back to their offices and understand how to do that. Sir.
So I think one tool that is always something that all accountants, I would say, and chartered accountants require is reconciliations. Now, reconciliation is reconciliation between two customer statements. So your own ledger versus your vendor's ledger or your customer's ledger. And the second is bank reconciliation. Okay, I think these are two major reconciliations that have to be done. The third, in fact, is I think quite a major one is 26 AS RECO. Now, all of these three are very, very easily developed. You can choose whichever AI tool you want. I'm telling you whichever AI tool you want, and you can upload and you can get the Python script for these. You don't need to, I mean, if you tell me what would I use, I would use Claude because that's what we use extensively. I would tell you don't use Claude. You can use any tool. I think Gemini will do it, ChatGPT will do it, any other tool will do it. Just upload two statements and just ask him to reconcile it and give you the differences. That's it. I'm telling you, it is as easy as that. I would, if anyone wishes to know a little bit more, please feel free to connect with me also. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or any other place. I'm sure and we can probably I can try my best to guide as to what we can do. But these are small, simple tools that are available. There are third-party service providers who are providing these tools as well. But you know what? While I won't tell you to sort of why relearn something that already exists, but these are things which are very interesting to sort of know how to do, because that will expand your horizon of creating more tools and more web apps for your own personal use of your organization, which will give your organization the edge. And therefore, I will never tell you that, definitely I will not tell you go and learn coding and create a development team and everything. But I would say these are small things which will enable your own team to think logically, which is why I'm saying build these tools yourself, and there is enough and more assistance available. These are all no-code platforms and they are very easy to make. Start with, if you ask me which is the tool I would start with reconciliation, only because that is the main part where people struggle. Maybe even 26 AS reconciliation. I think that's something you can start doing. Yeah.
So taking a cue, I just like to highlight what I made a tool for my firm, which I think would be applicable for you all. I showed it yesterday also in my HTML session. I just took two datas, one from 2B and other from the books of accounts that was maintained. I took a screenshot of both the data. I placed it on ChatGPT and I told them I want to do a reconciliation of this format of data, and I want to create a simple HTML tool in which I will upload both the files of my clients, and I want a report defining what are the match data, what are the mismatch data, what is there in 2B, what is there in books, and all that. And there is a beautiful code, and just I need to click on them. It will be running as an HTML format, and I just need to upload the data and the results are there. Maybe it's a 3-line item code, or maybe it's a 300-line or a 3 lakh item line. It will run everyone in a matter of some seconds or some minutes. So this was one tool which I did. Ranjanji, your views.
See, a very basic tool is called Glide. This is from what you call the team of Google, and it integrates very well with Google Sheets. Google Sheets, a lot of people must be using, and Google Sheets can act as a database. So for basic coding, I think Glide with Google Sheets work very well. There are other similar tools, and Shyam, what I can do is I can send a mail to you. I have a list of lot of tools, because you wanted one or two. I would love to share with you, well documented, at least about 25-30 tools having different purposes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the amazing.
You can share
that
it.
That would be amazing for all the participants.
Yeah, you can share it with everyone, so you can use this. Now, once you are wanting to get down to little more advanced things, Then you need to have a database deployed on the server. Uske liye I told you Lovable is extremely good. Now what happens is कि whenever you are building up an app, जैसे ऐप के अंदर में कई इवेंट्स होते हैं कि ये काम होने से मेरे को 2 काम करना है. I'll give you a very simple example कि say once I do this, I want to send a WhatsApp message and I want to also send a email. Or maybe I want to also update some information in some other place. So iske liye you need to build connections. So one way to build connection is using Zapier. It's very simple. You can use Zapier, where in Zapier you can say कि in this particular place, Zapier can connect to 2 different applications. आप ये बोल सकते हो उसके अंदर में मेरे को जब ये काम होता है तो मेरे को ये 2 काम करना है इसके अंदर में. So you can use Zapier. Zapier, वैसे तो it's cheap, but once you start using it more and more, it can become a little expensive. Nowadays, N2N is there, which has become very popular. If you can actually host it on your computer, it doesn't cost anything. In fact, the application I just told you about, the sentiment analysis, we have used NTN in that. I think, Shyam, one question you had asked about the cost factor. Cost factor is very interesting if you see it from 2 different point of view. एक है मैं खर्चा कर रहा हूँ कि मैं इन्वेस्ट कर रहा हूँ. अगर अपने खर्चा बोल के करेंगे आपको हर चीज़ ही महंगा लगेगा, बट इन्वेस्टमेंट का मतलब ये है कि मैं इन्वेस्ट करता हूँ कमाई करने के लिए. तो मैं यही बोलूँगा आपको कि अगर आप कोई भी चीज़ AI में करते हैं या कोई भी आप AI को बड़े बेस बना के कोई एफर्ट करते हैं, बी प्रिपेयर्ड कि देयर विल बी अ कॉस्ट, क्योंकि आई एम वेरी अफ्रेड ऑफ फ्री थिंग्स. जब वो अच्छा लगने लगता है ना वो पैसा मांगने लगता है. So it's better to be prepared mentally कि पैसा लगेगा, but you will have to look at it कि whether that investment, not expense, is beneficial for you. Can you earn more? So I will again say something. You will be able to easily assess what is going to be the cost, and you will have to decide whether I am willing to invest that cost. मैं अभी भी खर्चा नहीं बोलूँगा उसको. So this is my take on this.
Thank you.
So I'll just add one thing. Though रंजन जी बोले हैं कि about investment, मैं आपको ये भी साथ में बोलूँगा कि वो जो पहले मैं आपको बोलूँगा आपको इन्वेस्ट सिर्फ 2 ही महीने करना है. मैं आपको गारंटी देता हूँ 3rd month में you will recover that investment manifold in terms of saving of manpower, in terms of जो न्यू क्लाइंट एडिशन हुए हैं उसके लिए you've not had to add manpower, in terms of reduction in overall time for doing activities for delivering to clients. So I would say कि apart from it being an investment, मैं आपको ये बोल रहा हूँ कि 3रे महीने में आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं, आप उसको एज एन एक्सपेंस भी ट्रीट करेंगे ना तो आपके ROI में वो बैठ जाएगा.
So taking a cue from Anurag ji's ROI, we finance professionals are very much concerned कि हमारा ROI क्या आ रहा है. But I would like to add a T in between. It's ROTI, return on time invested. So if that ROTI that we want from AI, if we invest it properly, definitely we will be having a much better and efficient ecosystem in our office. So now I open the house for any questions if we can have from the audience. If anybody would like to pitch in with their thoughts or theories. If anyone would like to have. Sir, एक mic दीजिए. Mic.
Hello. Actually, the documents movement is very important, and very casual approach, the client sending data through email, mostly in WhatsApp, so that is unsecured. Can we develop a tools, app, that through app the data movement that is to and fro is possible?
So I think there are web apps already available for this, for document flow, for approvals, for even reading the documents, etc. There are enough web apps available. I will look up the specific names. I can't think on top of my head.
That is app based. That app actually private app.
No. So if I can just explorate a little bit. Suppose I need to share data with my client and my clients need to share data with me. I want a common place where we can both give data and take data. So in that case, what I would do, right now, if I get something in mind, is I will create a Google Drive, giving access to my client, where he can put in data there, which my team can get access to, and where I can also put in data in the same drive and he can get access to. So are you talking about this kind? And that is secured only to the person who is, will give access only to the particular email ID which can access that folder, rather than a public link.
But PCP app, actually the CA firm can develop an app, and that app we install in the client mobile, and they can, through this app, movement of data that
you can do that on a Google Drive also. You can use Dropbox, Google Drive, or any of these storage platforms. We use Dropbox for us, but Google Drive does the same job. So even as an app, I mean, you install the Google Drive app on your mobile and just save those documents in that folder in the Google Drive. It will automatically go to the chartered accountant or to whomever you wish to share. They can access it. You give them edit access or read-only access as per what you want, and then that's how you can collaborate. Your entire office can collaborate very easily at a very, very negligible cost, I would say. There's hardly any, there's no significant cost associated with this.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, in fact, I just want to say there are two parts to this. Maybe you are meaning something different. See, what Shyam just said, you can have a Google Drive. Using Google Drive, you are able to create a platform for receiving information and giving information. So this is nothing but you're creating a storage space, a dedicated storage space for your client. So this part has nothing to do with AI. Am I right?
Correct.
It has nothing to do with AI. Now suppose if you want to read that information and you want to get insight from that information, or you can think of what you want to really do with that information, and you want some automation in that. So यहाँ पर आपको workflow build करना पड़ेगा. तो यहाँ पर आप एक web app develop कर सकते हो. Objective has to be clear कि मेरे को ये करना है. और आप ये भी कर सकते हो कि मेरे को इन डॉक्यूमेंट के साथ में ये काम करना है, इन डॉक्यूमेंट के साथ में ये काम करना है, बिकॉज एवरी डॉक्यूमेंट कैन नॉट बी एक्टेड इन द सेम वे. तो आप ये प्लान कर सकते हो, एक छोटा वेब ऐप डेवलप कर सकते हो, और वो वेब ऐप को वो आपका गूगल ड्राइव से डेटा को रीड करेगा, डिसाइड करेगा कि ये वेब ऐप उसके लिए एप्लीकेबल है कि नहीं, बिकॉज आई सेड कि एवरी डॉक्यूमेंट विल नॉट हैव द सेम वेब ऐप. वो पता कर लेगा कि मेरे मतलब का है कि नहीं, और उससे आपको इंसाइट निकाल के दे सकता है. आपको इंसाइट कैसे देगा, उसके लिए भी आप एक वर्कफ्लो डेवलप कर सकते हो कि आप उसकी एक तो ईमेल आपको फायर कर देगा, या आपको व्हाट्सएप में भी एक अलर्ट दे देगा. ये सारे आप वर्कफ्लो बना सकते हो. यहाँ पर एआई का रोल है, लेकिन कोई भी चीज़ को, कोई भी एक तो एआई को पावर करने के लिए आपको एक बेस इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए. तो द फर्स्ट स्टेप इज़ व्हाट श्याम सेड कि डेटा मिलेगा कैसे आपको. तो डेटा आपको मिल गया. जैसे इन्होंने गूगल ड्राइव का बात बताया, आप इसके लिए भी एक वेब ऐप बना सकते हो कि क्लाइंट इंस्टेड ऑफ गिविंग डेटा इन गूगल ऐप, उसको आप एक तो वेब ऐप शेयर कर दो कि वो उस ऐप को यूज़ करके आपको डेटा देगा, और वो डेटा गूगल ड्राइव में स्टोर हो जाएगा. मैं बोलता हूँ ना, आपकी इमेजिनेशन इज़ योर लिमिट. आप सब कुछ कर सकते हो. और मैं बोलता हूँ कि फिर से आप जो श्याम ने एक बहुत बढ़िया बात कहा, मैंने एक टाइम फैक्टर घुसा दिया आरओआई के अंदर में. मैं आपको फिर बोलता हूँ, आप कोई भी चीज़ एआई में आप ट्राई करोगे ना, आपको मैंने आई कैन टेल यू विथ गारंटी, आप कोई भी चीज़ एफर्ट करो, यू विल फेल द फर्स्ट 5 times. और आपको मन में यही बात आएगा एआई बेकार है. सर, एआई बेकार नहीं है, हम अभी सीख रहे हैं. This is a time spent on learning, and believe me, the day you start understanding how to get the best out of it, it will be a changed world for you.
So thank you Ranjan ji, thank you Anurag Bhaiya for the wonderful deliberations that you have given. Question? We'll take this last question, please.
So could you specify some tools or web apps regarding the 2B versus books reconciliation, so that it could be done in a faster manner? Samji actually has already specified that
HTML tool
through
can be
HTML,
created.
so is there any other tools which can be handy and which can be done in a faster manner apart from that?
So, so in reality, there are a lot of softwares available for 2B RICO, whether it is ClearTax, MyGST, etc. But I think now most of the accounting softwares itself have the 2B RICO tool inbuilt. So whether you're using Tally, whether you use RealBooks, whether you use Busy, all of these, I have not seen it in Zoho, but I think Zoho also has it. I think Zoho also has it. So all of these softwares themselves now provide a 2B RICO tool within it. Now,
No, apart from, I'm sorry to interrupt
Yeah.
you. So thing is that we are not saying about third-party tools. I am saying that customized tool, whether we could we build the same?
yeah, you can build it. Shyamji just told you, na, he built it on HTML.
On
It's
HTML,
very
you can
easy.
do, you
On-
can, just try to interrupt. We can do on macros also. You can create VBA macros. If you have data in Excel format, you can create macros and run it in your Excel file. It will do reconciliation of both the sheets and give you data. In fact, you can create, like Ranjanji said, you can create an N8N model, which we call an AI agent, in which you can have two sets of data, one from the books, from the side of 2B, and you can have give a logic with respect to GST, and it will run the whole process and give you a reconciliation.
Okay.
So there are these 2-3 examples by which you can do this kind of a reconciliation. Power query can be done, definitely, sir.
And it could be it could be executed through ChatGPT or Claude.
Yes, definitely. Anything can be created. In fact, in my office, I create AI agents. I try to create AI agents with the help of ChatGPT itself. I tell them this is the workflow that I need. What Ranjanji was talking about, that you need to first understand what is the workflow that you need. That from where you get the source data, what is the process you want to do, in what format you want to have the output. If you have decided all of these, then you can create an AI agent with the help of any of the LLM tools like ChatGPT, Claude, anything that you want.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, Anuragji. Thank you, Ranjanji. I think the great takeaways that I could sense from these two is, first, to use AI as your slave and not as your master. So it can be a good assistant to you. Second, if you want to invest in tools which you can put as your asset in your balance sheet, as your investment, and not as an expense in your PL. That would definitely give a different mindset of how to use and invest in artificial intelligence. The ROI and ROTI, that needs to be checked with every tool that we have. And finally, after all the discussions that I can relate to, I can just take away one line from it, that being a chartered accountant, I am not replaceable, but I am upgradable. So we need to upgrade ourselves with the advent of technology, with the advent of AI in this coming world, and definitely with these two gentlemen by our sides always, they will help us in getting more tools, getting more information about it. And as Ranjanji has said, he will share tools. I think it will be given to ICAI and it will be distributed to all the participants. So thank you so much for a patient hearing, and thank you to both the panelists and to EIRC of ICAI for organizing this. Over to Aditya ji.
Thank you, Shyamji. So while we come to the end of the last technical session and the end of the AI Summit that we had for 2 days, wherein more than 600 members have attended the sessions, and with each time passes at the evening, Sunday evening, special thanks to the members who are still there, investing their time to learn more and more out of this particular summit. So thanks to each one of you who are still there. Thank you, Shyam Agrawalji, for moderating this particular session and asking the relevant questions which are very relevant from the perspective of the chartered accountants. Thank you, Ranjan sir and Anurag sir, for giving such insightful things to us, wherein we have learnt a lot from your deliberations and various tools that you have suggested, usage of the Claude and usage of the Glide. So these are the tools that we'll be using, and I'm sure that we all will be benefited out of this insightful session. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.